Okay, just putting some videos together. I just want to explain a couple things in case anybody out there is watching my videos. It looks like there's probably about 5 or 6 people that are watching my videos. I just went on and got my messages for the last 7, 8 months. I haven't been online 7, 8 months. I uploaded, I don't know, 15, 20 videos to start this series. So I want to explain that a little bit too. Some of these videos are going to be really shitty. There's a lot of stretching of the screen and stuff like that. These are my soundtracks. I'm trying to put together soundtracks, and I need to know what's going to get copyright strikes for audio. And I'm starting there. I just little tricks that I learned over the last few years of doing these videos. These are not wasting my time and doing a bunch of videos. So I'm trying to do is set up certain videos, and I'm going to use these videos as my soundtracks. It's politics, it's Candace, Owens, and some of it is going to be Pastor Brooks. These are the mainstream. I'm going to call out mainstream again, which I have not done since the Discovery Channel. I did just go on and get my notices over the last 6 months. I don't know how the hell I feel about it. I don't know. I mean, I got a lot of negative, a lot of negative fucking feedback, but that's the way it goes. So I'm just gonna ignore it. The couple people that were being nice, I started to respond to them saying thank you for being nice. But then by the time I got to their third or fourth message, they weren't really being nice anymore. They really don't see what it is I'm trying to show anybody, or nobody seems to understand it. I don't know. And then I got Rick and Patrick that also sent me messages, but I'm just a little confused about that too. I mean, Rick, I feel pretty close with and stuff like that, so I can just tell him straight out. He's I don't go. I did text him back. I messaged him back and explained with Rick that I'm not so much for the spoken word anymore. Everybody's so hot on it's just something I've learned about the programming. The programming is so deep. It's been so bad, and the more and more of the system that I've seen over the last year, more so than when I was working with you, Rick, I've just seen so much more now. And then it clears up other things. So there's no question in my mind about when I tell you guys something that you can see for yourselves, and there's not any question about it, because but you have to go see it for yourselves. You cannot take my videos at word. You have to go outside and look around yourself. You have to take your own camera in your hand, put some filters on it. It's not hard, but I don't see anybody doing that. Nobody, even the people that I've been. So I don't want to get dragged in the wrong directions or whatever. I'm doing just fine, seeing things for what they are. I too have my own programs that I have to get over. That's why I try to be very specific when I'm talking to you guys about anything for that matter. I always say I don't even call it opinion or belief, because I don't even have opinion and belief anymore. I only have knowing, so that I know it, and it's not so that I know it for myself only. I know it so that I can show everybody else, so you can know it for yourself. You're not taking my word on anything. I never ask anyone to take my word on anything. We're all a bunch of fucking liars. You can't trust nobody. So don't take my word on it. That's the great thing about what I'm showing you all, is that you can just simply go outside with a camera. I've been proving it for 3 years. The most innocent, unsuspected people, I've gotten them to do videos of this, and then when I show them the videos, they run away, and they will not go and do it on their own. It's not, they got too many programs that have to be broken. And I was explaining to a girl who messaged me. I'm going to go over to a video while I'm shooting the breeze about nothing. I do have a audio in the background that I'm going to run through on this video. I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing right now. It's no big deal. Some of these videos came out okay. Some of them are shitty. And that's fine with me, because I only want them for the audio. See, like this one, the camera was screwed up. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not, even figuring out how to do some of this shit. I looked at this phone today to see why this happened. I have no idea, but I'm only going to use it for the audio anyway. So if you come across a video like this, don't be mad, don't be angry about it. Just go on to another video like I'm going to do here. I'll push through it. I'll see that, oh, okay, I'll know what this asshole is doing, because not everybody does videos like I'm doing. Usually, even I've tried a trial and error that all along. I've went through the trouble of making my own freaking music and all kinds of shit. Downloading music that you think is free. They copyright everything. Even these vocals that I'm pulling offline now, they might even get copyright strikes on them. So all I'm doing is I'm coming back to my old videos and I'm running them through. Sometimes I'm running through Fox videos. You'll see them down here because I'm going to start going in on Fox. Some of them are kind of shitty. Like I would not, the one here with President Trump here, I would normally not go for them because it's got so much glare. And people aren't going to understand what it is I'm trying to show them. But I'm fine with it. I know the system's all lights and shadows. I know that your physics, your math, your languages are all just human construct. I don't want to keep saying garbage, but it's human construct. And what I'm trying to get through to Candace, if she ever comes along, and to Pastor Brooks, and from the messages that I just went and looked at, I doubt this is going to get through to anybody. So I feel kind of silly to waste my time trying to get through to somebody mainstream. So I don't know if it'll get through, but there are some pretty important things that I'm trying to show people. So I'm going to continue on, I guess. And I'm just going to not read my messages. I mean, I normally don't read my messages anyway, because I know what it's going to be. But then it kind of sucks. You might have one or two people that you want to believe get it, want to believe see it, and so you don't feel so all alone, you know? Anyways, I'm going through these videos and I'm just running them through. I will do a good job on them and get it right without any stretch marks in the cameras and everything. But every time I have a failure, you're always learning something. Because what I've been learning about the stretch marks in these cameras, it's a magnetic effect that happens when you get the camera close to the computer. But the same stretch marks happen in the sky, you know? There's all these electromagnetic fields that we can see with our eyes, but we choose not to look, you know? I'm going to do is I'm going to get it. What's this? Communication. So here's a tornado or something down here, it looks like, or something going on, or a volcano. Those are good to go in on. Sometimes YouTube acts like they're trying to help me and they'll post videos like that. Usually it's conspiracy shit. All right, so let me get on to something halfway decent video while I'm talking about nothing. Because I'm going to go into a whole bunch of other things for Candace and Pastor Brooks and start talking directly to them again once I get this soundtracks all figured out. And once I know that I won't get copyright strikes on these things, then I'll go ahead and do that. And then, you know, while I'm here, though, let's see. I'm going to do this one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start pausing and playing this video. This is just a video of some clouds, June 14th, 2021. And talk about some of the messages that I got of people claiming that they can't see it, or claiming that you have to be something special to see it. And, you know, that's great, you know, for human ego, for my ego, but I'm very careful about my ego too. So I usually just say, you know, thank you, and glad to hear that somebody else sees it. But then I'm really kind of watching out to see if they really do see it. Do they really see it, or are they just saying that? And then everybody's comments all have to do with things that are human influence, human construct, all taken from the books, from the programmings that that we've all endured, all in different ways. Like the people that are pissed off about me calling out what's his face there, Harold Kotz. Harold Kotz. Now, I liked Harold Kotz years ago. And when I decided to call him out, someone else came along, and then I kind of got distracted with some other shit. And then I said, nah, I'm going to go back to Harold Kotz again. And that's when I called out Harold Kotz. I'd forgotten about a lot of things about Harold Kotz until I was doing the videos. So I have no hate or upset at Harold Kotz any more than my family and friends or anybody else around me, okay? So I'm calling him out. You guys are exactly right. I'm calling him out for his namesake. But obviously, it's not to get millions of views, right? Because I can go talk about carburetors or fuel injection systems, or I can show people how to fix quarter panels on their car. I could be doing YouTube videos of all kinds of shit. I'm fairly talented as far as the human realm goes. So I don't need to be doing what I'm doing to try to show you guys the system. But the system's all there for all of us to see. There's nothing special about me except the fact that someone asked me and I responded to it and then I deleted it because like I said, I got further up in the video and I happened to notice that she no longer felt that way about that she was saying. As I was explaining myself, though, I was saying that there was a couple things that happened that allowed me to see this. She was made a comment that it was something from looking up at the sky that opened up my eyes and things like. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say no. It was not. I don't think it was anything like that. But I was thinking that something along those lines myself, and I want to explain why I go against it now. All right, I was looking at the geoengineering, the chemtrails, what I now call mineral streets. I was doing that for 10, 15 years, or so. And one of the things that you'll notice when you're into that, when you're into looking at them and not being afraid to look at them and trying to make out what's going on, and over the years, you'll notice that no one else looks. You're the only one. Every once in a while, you'll run into maybe somebody who is willing to say, "Oh, what are you looking at? Those trails in the sky?" And get all excited, and I'll be like, "Yeah, why?" And all of a sudden, their wife gives them a dirty look, shakes her head, gets back in the car. I'm just thinking about one time I was at the flower shop, at the farm stand place, getting soil and shit, and that was one dude, right? I mean, years goes by, and you're bringing your family and your friends to show them this stuff, and they look right beyond it. You tell them that you want to. I should have went to a video with trails, but I will while I'm talking about it. But that's okay. Same thing. All these what you call clouds. These are all laid out there. This is all human influence. This is human construct. They're all put out there now. Now I know everything about them now. Most things. I know everything that I need to know. So the wonder and the amazement about the geoengineering or the mineral streets is now gone for me. It's no big deal. What I'm now trying to show all of you and impress upon you is the imagery that's everywhere. And it's everywhere from the veil to the ground. It's not only in these clouds. So when she mentioned about it being me possibly looking up at the sky all the time, something with the lights in my eyes, and might have caused some special. She was mentioning the pineal gland, which I don't believe in the pineal gland. I believe in the mirror neuron and the mirror neuron manipulator, and it's not a belief. I can prove that they exist. Your science even can prove that they both exist with the mirror neuron and the mirror neuron manipulator. The pineal gland, that's a mystical, magical place that it's not real. Your entire neurological system is the fucking electrical system from your, head to your toes, or whatever the saying is, right? How anyone could be missing the imagery that's all over in here. I gotta shut these lights off to get rid of the glare. How anyone could be missing it is there's just no way. There's just no way. You're looking beyond it. You're looking before it. I'm explaining it really well, but I also am very careful, usually trying to be careful not to over explain things because I don't want to scare people away. There's nothing to be afraid of, but it just goes against everybody's program. So when people start hearing shit, one person it might be that the Earth is not a spinning wet pararocket ball, and you can prove that it's not. You can see the whole system, and you can prove that you no longer have to live in the wonder. Is it, a spinning web pararocket ball? You never should have thought that in the first place. We all never should have thought that in the first place. That was all programming. And now I see the whole system. I see it all now. So I know when, okay, for example, knowing that the difference between the true creator, what I'm calling the false creator, and human influence. It's pretty freaking amazing to see it all, because you know that after you watch it for a little while and you go and look and you stop, everybody stops being big babies about it all, because it's what it is to me. It just seems like everybody's going to be upset because, okay, if I'm ranking out freaking Harold Kotz. Harold Kotz is selling the story of space aliens. He's selling the story of outer space. Okay, so whether he's a physicist or not, what he's going to know about the Morgellons and all that, I know what he's saying about the Morgellons. I'm telling you, it's not that. It's something totally different. And you think because I'm uneducated and I can't say anything without using the F word every 3 minutes or whatever, that I'm somehow don't understand it. I do understand it. I also know that it's all bullshit. So I wanted to call him out. I thought enough of him. I liked him enough to say, look, can you get over your ego? Can you get over your ego, you superstars out there? Because they're all superstars. Everybody thinks they're a fucking superstar. Like I said, if I wanted to be a superstar, I'd be doing rebuild your carburetor fucking videos, right? Right. So for me to be showing you guys all this, it had nothing to do with the light in my eyes. We can all see this. I've tricked everybody into seeing it over the years. I tricked them into circling it. I tricked them into pointing it out. I tricked them into describing it. And then when they describe it, I say yes. And then once they realize what it is, then they go right back to all their shit. They're going to go back to their programs, right? It's either one of the religions, many of the what we know as the religious religions, and then what I refer to, all of them are religions, but programs, okay? They're all just different programs. So we can go to our political programs, like the videos that I'm doing right now to Candace, and even to Pastor Brooks. I'm trying to go real easy on the religious stuff because I don't want to take people's religion away from them, especially when there are little trickles of truth that came down through the religions. But you're not going to know what they are unless you go and look at the system. So the imagination is another one. Your imagination. That imagination program of everyone using their imagination rather than just go see what's there. I mean, I can start pointing these images out, no problem. And you're going to see them, no problem, as I point them out. And then even as I play the videos, you might see one or two or whatever, or like this girl mentioned, is that, oh yeah, eyes over eyes over eyes over eyes, nothing new under the sun. Yeah, exactly. But if you're not really looking. So if you really look, like I'm explaining in my videos, if you take the camera in your hand and you really go in on them and start looking, use the camera as a viewing device to start with, your eyes will start picking them all up in every direction and everywhere. So I know there's nothing special about me to be able to see this. The only thing that made it special for me is because I already had 10, 15 years, maybe more, of the what we all are calling this awakening, right? I realized that everything's been a lie. And when some of these things you look at that were obviously lies, and I was able to overlook them, I finally came out of them, right? Like, for example, how many times was I lied to about these chemtrails, right? First, they were called chemtrails. And then after a while of maybe 4 or 5 years of calling them chemtrails, looking at them, wondering what the hell's going on, what's this all about, then it came out that, oh no, we're just going to laugh that off. That was a total psyop. CIA put out the word chemtrails. There's nothing suspicious to see here. That's just ice crystals, right? Okay. Then another, you don't really believe it. You're not buying it every which way. I mean, it's too obvious. There's something weird going on here. As you're pointing them out to people on the street by the thousands, by, hundreds per week, thousands per month, and then you'll notice that they'll deny looking. They will not look. You could say, well, let's stand here and let's count them. This is one of my favorite stories because I used to do it all the time. And you say, let's count them. I'm going to hit play while I'm talking about none. Full of imagery, packed with imagery in the clouds. You're not going to see them if you don't look, okay? Pretty simple. I just hit play. It's just the clouds rolling by. You can do this in the trees, the rocks, the stones, the water. I don't care where we go, the moon, everywhere. Okay, so what was special about my eyes being able to see this over anyone else's? Well, I told you the things that I had to get out of my mind because once I seen them, I realized, oh my God, there's so much human influence here. This was all programming because the true creator doesn't see anything as up, down, left, right, backward, forward, in or out. I've only come across that information in the last, 2 years, I would say. 3 years ago, I found the system, I found all this, but I wasn't putting it all together right away. It didn't all spring to me. I had to keep fighting my programming all the way down the line. I still do today to try to finish figuring this out. So as I go on to try figuring this out, I have to keep getting rid of my programming because every one of you that's said anything to me that I read today, all is filled with human programming. So I'm sorry, but you have to go look for yourself. And then when you do, I mean, I guess it's okay to share with me your programming too. Um, and I probably shouldn't even be pissed about it because I mean I have to do it to myself as well. So what's the big deal to hear somebody talking about a pineal gland or whatever? But let's go back to this light thing, the light coming into my eyes and making my light better. So we know that I did not, when I first started seeing the imagery, I did not at first figure out the up, down, left, right, backward, forward thing. It took me months of looking at it, and then finally I started seeing them in the upside down, sideways, and then I started realizing I'm like, oh, okay, I see how this is working. So then figuring out in the first year, I would say, so going back 3 years, I realized this was big evidence to realize that it was all feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. That's huge, huge evidence. If all the images of everything we see in our conscious realm, including the trees and the flowers and the animals and everything we see in our conscious realm, if it was all in the imagery, I wouldn't have shit. I wouldn't be able to prove anything to you. That's why I'm so important that you go look. Because looking and continuing to look and keep on seeing it, it's image within image within image. You cannot be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to look. If you see other things that are outside the image, believe me, I'll give you my honest opinion and we can talk about it or whatever. Because I do at times see things that I think are going to turn out to be a bird. They rarely turn out to be a bird. And even if they are some other thing, you're still a lot of shit missing. Okay, well, I was able to figure that out this year as well. Because once I realized that we were dealing with a true creator who was only interested in pure electrical, pure heavy metals, and I'm even admitting now pure heavy metals and mineral carbons, as long as they were pure. That's what the true creator builds with. He's still doing it today. He still uses the same thing that he used back when we first started. He still uses that system, and it's still going today. And we can all see it. That's why I'm telling you, go look. Go fucking look. Don't look at my videos. My videos are only to show you how to go look. But this is something that you all have to do for yourself. You all have to go outside, grab your own videos of the moon so that you know there's nothing's digitally remastered, nothing's CGI'd or nothing. You have to take your own photographs of the fucking moon and be amazed by how the idea that the camera sees it, the printer sees it, but you never seen it. I mean, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty amazing. I was amazed to realize I've been looking at the moon all my freaking life and never seen what I now am able to see. We're all able to see it. So what made it special? What made it special for me to be able to see it? Okay, it wasn't contrast in my eyes because I didn't have any contrast in my eyes either. I had to add the contrast to my eyes with the filters. Once I started seeing everything in my normal, usual colors, all the colors of the rainbow, I realized, oh my God, we're missing a lot of contrast in the system and contrast in our eyes. There was a time when we were more electrical and we were able to see things a lot more clearly than we are right now. Now, I know by pulling in some of my programs, I know that the human eye has lost a lot of colors off the color chart, according to science. That is, I don't know if that's real or not, or true or not, but it sure seems it as I've been looking at the system. But I don't take it at face value because it was written word. It was told to me, programmed to me as I was growing up. So I'm just going to find out for myself. So as I've been looking around, I have realized that adding contrast for my eyes will allow me to see the images better. It also, I've learned about the shades, and I've learned about the sound resonance and the sine waves, and I've learned so much shit about it all. Okay, but I never would have accepted any of it if I didn't have that 15 years or more of realizing that everybody's a bunch of fucking liars and they all lie to themselves. If I didn't learn about that mirror neuron and that mirror neuron manipulator 12 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever that book was, if I didn't learn about that, I would have never been ready, and my brain would not even have accepted, my conscious mind would not have accepted what it is I'm now able to see and show you, and be open about it without being worried about it. I don't give a shit what anyone says because all the evidence is all around us. So it's not on me to be the bearer of the truth for you. I'm just showing it to you all. If you guys don't want to pick it up and go look at it, then you move on. That's all. And if you're mad that I called out one of your friends or ranked somebody out or something like that, I have to do that. I have no fame. I have no name. So therefore, if I'm going to call, that's why I choose who I'm going to choose, because I'm choosing people that, number one, I like their energy, and I think that they might get over their own egos, because everybody's egos is a huge problem for someone like myself, because I'm showing you the shit that you can go see for yourself, and automatically everybody brings in, yeah, we already know this, dude. It's a matrix. We already know. The system's a matrix. You're not telling anybody anything new that they didn't already know. No, man, that's not what I'm fucking saying. But of course, they're not going to watch 4,000 videos to hear me say half a dozen times throughout them only that it's not a matrix, and you can prove that it's not a matrix. Okay, so the Matrix is not a hard religion to take away from anybody. There's not that many of them. Who knows? Maybe the same as there are as flat earthers, as geo believers that believe in that the system, the geo system of thousands of years ago. They believe that one was also a lie. I can prove that now. I can prove that with what I know now about how the stars are sending the energy down through the moon. You can see it all mapped out. I could see it all. So instead of anybody going and looking, no, I got to listen to messages written in about, it looks like pancakes and syrup and shit like that, which, again, is fine. I have to just let it roll off, because what's the big deal, really? But the thing is it is frustrating, because everybody thinks that the burden is on me to show you, and it's not really. It's the burden is all on all of us. I won't even keep saying you, but okay. So we know that me seeing it, nothing special about. Still, so far, nothing special. No contrast extra in my eyes. No taking in extra sunlight, lighting up my pineal gland. We know that it wasn't. We know that it was never hidden from me ever in my life beforehand. How do I know that? Because I can go back in time using the television and movies. I tell people to do that all the time. Nobody does it. So if you go back to television and movies, which I do all the fucking time, because I just think it's fun. If I'm ever watching anything, it doesn't matter. The Bob Newhart show, Cheers, whatever. There's always going to be some clouds going on somewhere when you're watching some old television show. Charlie Chan, go back to the 1930s, 1920s movies and videos. I've gone back to people's home videos when I was doing the tree research and the clouds and everything, and I'm looking in there and I'm saying, oh my God, yeah, this is unbelievable. Then you can even take it back even further, because you've got channels that go into the ancient caves. You got like the New Earth channel. That's why I called out the New Earth channel. I called them out. I called out a lot of really nice people, a lot of good people, since I've been doing this. Sometimes I was nicer than others, because depending on how aggravated I got, which is probably not fair. I was probably not being so fair with Harold Kotz, because everybody's got programs, so maybe I'm easing up in my old age, but everybody has these programs. They just don't want to admit that they're programs. They think that it was all based on some reality. It wasn't, and no one's ready to face that. So therefore, there's no way I'm going to, get through to anybody, Okay, so we know again there was nothing special about anything so far that I can find. Well, the only thing I did, again, I messaged her and then deleted it, so I'm going to talk about that now. The only thing I can remember when I always, because it's something you think about, why am I able to all of a sudden see it now? And I was not able to see it for all those years when I was watching the Jets pour out the freaking trails out the back. Now, I knew about the mineral streets already for 10, 15 years, like I said. I was watching them on a daily basis, go by the thousands. I can tell you what presidents they were more under, what storms were coming up. I was watching them pretty closely and trying to see what the hell is going on around here. Okay, so why didn't I ever see them then? The imagery. Why didn't I see the system? So when I thought about that, I looked for all these different things too. Did I receive a sine wave? Because I do get the sine waves. I get hit with pulse waves all the time. I think we all do. I think we're just afraid to talk about it. We were told that if you talked about it, you were going to wear a tinfoil hat and people were going to laugh at you and whatever. Again, programming. We were all programmed to do everything that we do. For you guys to be coming down on me the way that you guys are, on my channel. I mean, I am a nobody. I mean, I got 6 people that watch my channel. So, and out of those 6, I'm pretty sure that a couple of them are, well, I know one, I know myself for one, but I know that a couple of them that I think I know personally, I think they joined up when I did some favors for them. They went and joined my channel, but they're not heavy watchers. They're just checking in to probably have a laugh, So otherwise, there's really no need to be worried that I'm gonna like steal his thunder, right? There's nobody's gonna come to my channel. I mean, by the thousands or the millions or anything. You're talking about people that got 24 million views on a video, right? Compared to someone who's got 6 to 11 views, and most of those views are his own, right? I mean, it's kind of stupid. So you're giving me creds. If I was a drama queen like everybody else, then I would be out there, I'd be over there arguing and debating with you and everything. I don't even bother. I do it in video format, just like I'm doing now, because I'm just making videos anyway that no matter. So they're visual videos. So whatever I want to say, I just say it here while I'm doing the videos, and then it's easier for me. I don't have to be stressed out about what am I going to say. I've got to write it all down, and then I'm going to delete some. Fuck it. I just make the videos, and then whatever comes out, comes out. I could never write as fast as I can talk, and I can never talk as fast as I think. So either way, all right, so I'm trying to narrow this, get this down for you about how unspecial I am to be able to see any of this. Not claiming to. I would forewarn about human ego, about that ego is human concept. It's a human concept that was put in by the humans. When we became human, the human influence is big deal. It really is. Okay, I was starting to say earlier, you got the true creator. The true creator, you're going to notice, uses the triangular builds to build everything, right? Is energy, right? And I don't want to say his, but it's energy. Okay, you'll be able to see all that. And the reason why you'll be able to separate it from the false creator's work is because the false creator was when everything got divided. And we're going to know that by sexuality, femininity, and masculinity in the imagery. It's all faces. We know that we only get femininity when we hit the moon. We know that night and day is also another place where the false creator came into play. So we know that the moon and the sun pulling the night sky around is the actual answer that we can all now see for ourselves. No more guessing, no more fucking around. Go look at it and see for yourself. Now, if you look at the system the way that I'm telling you and stop using your imagination to see what we've been told is a God, I assure you the true creator, the false creator is going to be much better than even the false creator. That's a bad name that I put on the false creator, because even the false creator, his work is unbelievable. So the moon and the sun and the night and the day, because why? because that's when everything started being divided. The true creator does everything as one. Everything is one with the true creator. No fucking around, no playing, no games. So all the colors, all the minerals, all the heavy metals, all of the energy is one when it comes to the true creator. That's how we know, and that's how we know how we can separate the true creator's work from the false creator's work, right? Okay, then you get to the false creator's work. Let me jump around in this video. Then when you get to the false creator's work, you can see what I was trying to explain in an earlier video. When it comes to Adam and Eve, we were always lied to again and told these lies. I'm telling you right now, you can go see for yourself as you see the system. It'll clear up for you. You'll get rid of all your programming, all the nonsense you ever believed in, and you'll start to see things for what they are. And you say to yourself, okay, so if I'm able to see all this happening as one, then when do things get divided? When does it start becoming positive and negative? Because again, the power for the whole system is one. There is no positive and negative with the true creator. So we say, when does the positive and negative come into play? When does the male and female come into play? When does and who's responsible for it, right? Because we know the true creator is not going to be responsible for anything that's going to have anything more than one. The true creator does not divide. Only the false creator started our division. And it was a good idea, and it was a good plan. Where it got fucked up, the best that I can tell so far, is when the humans stole the false creator's work. So the humankind, which there's where we're going to get into the mirror neuron and the mirror neuron manipulator, because the people that do not possess a mirror neuron were at the same time they were divided, because that's one of the things that was divided: mirror neuron and mirror neuron manipulator, male and female. So as they started branching off from those two, and we got to remember, each color was going to also be divided. He was going to keep dividing as we were being created. And that's exactly what happened. So we can, in other words, we can monitor the false creator's work by all the divisions, right? That's one way. That's one way. Because once it gets to a human level, humans also divide, because we stole the false creator's work and we did a real number on it. And you can tell how we did the number on it, because using a lot of your guys' biblical bullshit stories, a lot of the nonsense, and I should be talking to Pastor Brooks when I'm saying this. I'm already at 37 minutes, but a lot of the truths were trickled down in those biblical things, more so than the science of today, even more so than the science of today. So what I'm calling energy, the energies, right? You guys in the religious forums would call it spirituality, or you would call it your soul, your spirit. I call it an energy because I'm trying not to fall prey to words and terminologies, right? But even using the word energy is a scientific, recent word that's also, put into play. So where the hell do I do? I mean, I got to have people knowing a little bit about what I'm talking about, a little bit about what I mean, but everything's open for renaming. So as people see all this, everything should be renamed. I'm mentioning that because of that dude that was so pissed off at me about Harold Gotts was calling me nano man or some shit. Nano. Nano's just a word that I stole from the scientific community as well. So, you guys can come up with your own terminologies as you want, and just, I say, try not to use any of the regular terminology that we've been using, the programming. You can come up with new stuff as you see it. I'm not stuck on anything for terminology or words or anything like that, as long as it's being seen. So, anyway, so it's cool to be able to see all this more clearly, but you have to go look at the images to see. So back to what I was saying. So how do we know it was the false creator? I'm telling you this bullshit story about the moon and the sun, and that's in the nighttime being from the false creator, because it's positive and negative, because it's black and white, because it's showing in the human realm, it's being sent down to as we become bio, right? As we become our bio species that we are, that was by the false creator. Okay, the moon, I meant to say. The moon showing femininity. So if we were not getting any femininity in the system, because the true creator seen us both as one. So when I look up at the moon and I finally see and get femininity in body imagery also in the moon, not a lot, but there's some body imagery also in the moon. And that shows me the femininity is the body imagery. And some other ways too. There's some flowing hair and other things that I can say honestly that there's no way that that's me seeing what I want to see. It's not like the inanimate objects. Inanimate objects, I can't get my head around either still, right? Okay. Then we get past that, but it's still feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast everywhere, right? So once I get you from seeing the true creator's work, and I did some really good videos in the last couple of weeks about trying to explain to you how to go see it for yourself and how to think about the energy as you're looking at it, because it is a little bit, it's important so that you're able to see it all. So you're not just seeing one image or two images or something like that. You're gonna be able to see it all by doing what I'm saying. And it's not seeing the imagery so much that is I'm impressing on you lately. It's seeing the builders. It's seeing the energy, how they're all in triangular shapes. That's more or less what I've been trying to get over to you guys visually. Okay. Again, there's sound that works this way, and there's vibrations and sine waves, and I get all that. But even all those things, those are terminology we were programmed with. It doesn't tell the truth about anything. As soon as you talk about those things, people are gonna laugh you off too, and you'll know that they're true. You know that we all fucking go through this ringing, and then they make up excuses for it and everything. Anyways, put my hat for minutes. 37 minutes. I thought that was a while ago. Let me see. 41 minutes. Okay, let's see if I can finish this point. Okay, so once I can try to get you from seeing the work of the true creator, then to see and understand the difference between the true creator's work and the false creator's work. False creator starts division. Otherwise, before that, so it makes it nice and simple. So whenever you see something as singular, as one, then you know it's the true creator's work. Whenever you see things more than one, then you know it's the false creator's work. Pretty simple. So in other words, night and day, that's not one. If it was all night or all day, that would be one. We have night and day. So we know that's already from the false creator's work. Also, we have male and female in the moon, right? So nowhere else in the system is there male and female. It's always just in the moon. And I don't know about the sun, because I haven't. You can't look into the sun. I can only look around it, and looking directly into it never really got me much of anything because of camera glare and eye glare and all that kind of shit. But we know certainly it doesn't work anything like the heliocentric model does. I guarantee you that. That you can clearly see. So why do we all go along with it by 7.8 billion? I'll go along with such nonsense. And then if you're not going to go along with the spinning web pararocket ball nonsense, then you're sucked in down one of these other roads that it's all a hologram. It's all a hologram. Get that program, that's a human program. It's getting you ready to see everything that I'm showing you. It's getting you ready to see all this. So, you know it. You can already see it. So I'm ahead of the curve as far as the holographic images, because there's only people out there telling you that we live in a hologram, right? They're only telling you that. They're not doing what I'm doing and bringing you and saying, look, man, you can fucking see the whole thing. You can see it. Just watch the clouds for 10 minutes, and I'm only showing you in the clouds. I mean, we could be going into the dirt, the soil, the grass, the waters, the whatever. It's everywhere. Human skin, everywhere. It's not just the clouds. It's just more impressible to the human mind if I show it to you in the clouds and the moon, number one. Number two, It's important to show it to you in the clouds because at the same time, I'm trying to prove to you guys that you can all go see for yourself. I am not the evidence. No one else is the evidence of the fact that humans control the weather. We do what's called, on the conspiracy side, geoengineering. In other words, we dump the fucking minerals out all over the skies and then we push and pull them into place to create storms. We've been doing it for thousands of years. You don't want to go look, you don't want to see it, then you're not going to look and you're not going to see it. Not Harold Kotz. If Harold Kotz is going to keep, pushing and believing that space aliens exist because he believes outer space is what he was told in his schools. What, I'm not supposed to say anything about it because he's got an education and I don't? That doesn't make any sense. Anybody that's saying that shit, that's stupid. I'm showing you guys something that you can all see for yourself. You obviously do not need an education to see it, right? So if any of you guys that are his fans see it, then go back and show it to him. If you don't, okay, call me an asshole and move on, whatever. But to stay and watch and suffer you guys are a weird bunch, and the Harold Kotz fans too, because, you guys are staying with me for 5-6 months. I mean, that's kind of silly. Why the hell are you still on my channel for 5-6 months? I haven't even been on my channel for 5-6 months. It's 8 months. Shit, 8 months. And you guys been on here 8 months, still watching my videos and ranking them out and ranking me out about, picking on Harold. I don't get that, man. There's too much shit going on in life to be worried about some asshole who's got 6 subscribers, And if you know anything, you know that on YouTube, I don't have even 100 subscribers. They make it look that way. I don't know why they do that. Maybe to boast my ego, to make me feel good or something. I don't know. But anyways, back to this point because I'm already past my time limit. I just want to get this out. All right. So all the way down by looking at the system, you can determine and visually you'll be able to do this, and you'll be able to determine the true creator from the false creator, and then we get the human influence. Now, how do you know when it's human influence? I'm tell you where I'm steering towards. I'll tell you what I'm steering towards because I can easily see all the images. You don't see this big face in the sky right here, eye with the big fucking nose right here with the mouth down here. You don't see this big face right here. I mean, they're all over the place, but you don't see this next one coming in of an eye, a nose, and a mouth. You don't see that. I mean, it's pretty fucking clear. I can see this one's definitely in the feline family. This one, I don't know, possibly the same, but it's got the weird, and it's image within image. So I can certainly take my camera and go in on them, and I will later in other videos. But I mean, you guys got to do some of it, if you want to call it work. But it's just visual work. You just have to look. You don't see this, you know what I mean? It's everywhere. So in order to, once you start looking at it and seeing it, then you get to understand the system. It's self-explanatory.